Hello, Packers Blitz fans. Welcome to another episode of Packers Blitz. I'm your host, John, and this is my good buddy, Andy.
Hello.
And we survived the dark times of the 1980s and lived to talk about it. And we actually lived to talk about it here in our post-game show. That was a heck of a game, Andy.
It was. It was. They came back, so we're happy about that.
Oh, my goodness. So I said originally at the halftime show, you guys go back and look at that. Andy and I just went through a brief description. We're going to try to do this when we can from time to time. Either I'm at Andy's place to be here, and we'll have a halftime and a post-game show. So I said at the post-game, I mean at the halftime show, fire Joe Barry. But to my surprise, Andy,
They didn't give up any points in the second half, so we did say that the defense, of course, needed to step up, maybe get some turnovers. But they did step up.
Yeah. Yes. And remember, David Bakhtiari, Aaron Jones, Elton Jenkins, Christian Watson, Jair Alexander, two starting offensive linemen, starting corner, starting running back, and kind of the starter, Christian Watson. By the way, I just want to do something really quick.
Well, that and Carrington Valentine went out as well during the game.
And Devondre Campbell.
Yeah, I was out before halftime.
Right.
Yeah.
So Andy has a message to Christian Watson. Christian Watson, if you're listening to this, what should he do about his hamstring? Like, what are we gonna do?
I have no idea, but we really need him back.
We do need him back.
He's been out 3 games now. Hasn't even played it down.
Yeah. So
he needs a specialist, whoever in that field. Maybe he needs to go to Germany. Usually I hear this. Go to Germany.
Go to Germany.
I think the late great Kobe Bryant used to go there quite a bit for therapy on his knee and Achilles and everything else that he had going on.
So I'm going to do my little recap. Andy, chime in or whatever you'd like to say. Please interrupt me. Because this game was, if you said we're down 17-0 at half, we have done nothing offense. Our defense, although gave up, remember, 10 points, people. 10 points. So they played pretty well. So the fire Joe Barry comment, I still say fire Joe Barry. But the main thing was that in the second half, does that look familiar, Andy? I wonder what team against another poor team against the Falcons. Oh, that was us. Right?
Yeah.
It was the exact duplicate game. Now, again, Carr went out. He got hurt. But still, at that time, they were doing, okay, I don't know if they would have scored another 17 points, maybe another. But the point was, right, Andy? It was
Rashun Gary.
Wow,
3 sacks.
My God.
And Carr got injured on a sack that he sacked him. I mean, it wasn't dirty or anything. He just landed on his shoulder, and I slammed his head on the ground. I thought it was a concussion.
Yeah.
But it could have been either one, and I believe it was a shoulder issue, and that's why he was ruled out for the rest of the game.
Correct.
That did help because you have Jameis Winston then coming in, who again is not a world beater when it comes to quarterback play. That's why he's not starting, and that's why they went and got Derek Carr.
Yeah. So again, Packers Blitz fans, the main thing was this was the carbon copy of against the Falcons. They could do nothing the same in the second half. They could not bring any points. And Andy and I will get into Packers players of the game, but it was the same exact thing. The Saints just couldn't find a way to get points, and so it would.
The time of possession was crucial too. You had Green Bay had 32.5 minutes of time of possession, so we led in that. Whereas with the Atlanta Falcons, we did not. No. They had a lot more plays. We had actually more plays than New Orleans had. So that was the turnaround for us, that we were able to have the time of possession. And and stay on the field, I guess is probably the best thing to say about that.
Right.
So New Orleans only had 27 and a half minutes of time of possession. That was crucial. We kind of cleaned up our act on the penalties, and so we ended up with still 11 for 90 yards, but I think at halftime, we had 6.
Yeah.
So a little bit better, not much in the second half, but a little bit better. But New Orleans also kind of screwed up. They had 7 penalties, so they had a lot of penalties in the second half, especially, which didn't help them either. So they had 7 penalties for 102 yards. So that's kind of a couple of the key stats that I looked at. But yeah, the big thing, big turnaround in the fourth period. There were some friends of ours that had turned off the game and relatives that weren't really paying attention to the game, and all of a sudden they looked at the final score. They got it toward the end of the game where we were, the clock is basically running down and we're just taking a knee.
Yeah.
They should have just stayed true to the court. As John said, Jordan Love is inconsistently inconsistent. I think that's what you said.
Yeah,
I wrote it down.
Yeah, that is
true.
true.
Is that a direct quote from?
That's a direct quote.
So because of that inconsistency, all of a sudden the last few minutes he's like all world and completing some really tough passes to his running backs and wide receivers and everybody else. But Romeo Dobbs made a really nice touchdown catch. We converted a 2-point conversion. So a lot of really good throws, a lot of crucial throws at crucial times. There were a few times that we were like really got upset with Jordan, especially in the second half, like where I think we were 4th and 2 and he missed a wide open Patrick Taylor.
Yeah.
So again, 4th and 2, I probably would have been kicking a field goal. By the way, Matt LaFleur.
2 weeks in a row.
Matt,
are you listening?
Matt, you out there?
Are you listening, Matt?
Yeah, he's not right now, but hopefully later on. So we needed a field goal regardless. 4th and 2, that's not a gimme.
Yeah.
They had the perfect play call, wide open guy. I understand that, but then you got to make the play. And so at that point, I was like, yeah, it's over. And so
Yeah.
But they made some really nice plays toward the end of the game. The defense somewhat stepped up. It helped that New Orleans kicker missed the field goal.
Which, we're going to say
which is their front office's fault, by the way, for trading away Lutz, who's a really good kicker. They traded him to Denver, I believe.
By the way.
So that's their fault.
By the way, I know we're Packers, but check out the score to the Denver-Miami game. It's a basketball score. I am not kidding you. What, 70-20 or something like that? What was the final? Something like that.
It was. Yeah, so basically you had 10 touchdowns. I think they were all touchdowns from Miami. And their running back just ran all over them.
Yeah.
And Tua still playing well, but we're going to get back to the Packers. But anyway, Mostert, thank you. You won my fantasy for me for the week. I had over 30 points.
Yeah.
So thank you, Raheem Mostert, who ran all over the Packers, by the way, in that playoff game.
Yes, he did. That's
okay.
So the other thing, what I thought was interesting from the standpoint of the Saints is whatever they were doing in the first half, they went away from because they didn't have Carr. And Andy and I have said the same thing about Derek Carr. Derek Carr, if you give him time, back in the NFL, he is going to find a way to beat you. And when he started getting a little more pressure and he started getting, we saw he got off his spot, and he is not a quarterback that's going to beat you in that way. And I just think New Orleans, what they said was, our defense is good enough. This is not going to happen. We're going to win this game. We're 17-0. And they didn't think about, they should have watched our game film, Packers game film against Atlanta go, oh, wait a minute. Look what Atlanta did. And they came back and look what we're doing. And so,
plus, they weren't able to effectively run the ball.
No.
So they did all right, but just all right.
Yes.
And not good enough
Yep.
to consistently move the chains
Yes.
and get first down. So they were not able to do what Atlanta had done against us because they didn't have the talent with the running back committee that they were using. And then I don't think they did a good job. They should have been using Taysom Hill a lot more because he's probably the best runner they've got. So it's like he could have almost won that game by himself. They should have just put him at quarterback and have him run Wildcat the entire time. He actually is a good enough quarterback. He can actually complete a few passes too. So thank you, New Orleans, for that coaching decision. Really appreciate it. I think Allen is the name of the head coach.
Yeah, Dennis Allen.
Yeah,
he's a defensive-minded guy. But here's the thing: here's my question to you, Andy. Do you think we won the game outright, or do you think, again, I probably know the answer. New Orleans gave it to us. What would you say in this game?
I think a lot what happened to us in the Atlanta game, where we gave Atlanta the game, we gave New Orleans. New Orleans gave us the game. So it was turnabout's fair play, which is awesome. We actually, at this point in the season, we are very fortunate. Thank you.
You football gods.
That we are 2-1.
We could be 3-0.
We could be 3-0, but I'm happy with 2-1. I think we're headed in the right direction toward a playoff berth. And I know it's talk, but we needed to be at least 2-1, 3-0 to start the season for that to happen.
As of right now, we are tied with Detroit for lead of the division.
Correct, and we play them next week.
The Vikings haven't won a game yet.
Nope.
The Bears are getting boat raced right now.
Correct. They just scored, as he says that, they just scored a touchdown. The Chiefs scored a touchdown against the Bears. So.
Just to go off topic just a little bit before we finish our recap.
Maybe called, they're going to. Those are still going to.
Just to know that you guys, that is anyway, one of the funniest things is
thought we just went to the shitter all of a sudden. Okay.
I felt like going to the shitter a lot in the first half, let's be honest. So we do our preview of the Detroit game.
Do we want our players of the game first, though, before we do that?
Yeah. Okay. But I'm just telling you guys, we're going to do another episode. We're trying some different things, like I said. So please listen and you do it. But let's get back to the game. Let's do the Packers Blitz. Let's start with defense, because this is an easy one. Your defensive player of the game.
Rashun Gary.
Rashun.
Yeah, he's all world.
Woo.
He just was really, really, really good. And there's some honorable mentions, too. I want to say O.J. McDuffie played really well coming in and trying to replace Devondre Campbell. So he had quite a few tackles. I believe he had at least 6 tackles. So thank you. OJ played pretty well, and so that helped matters a little bit. So, but he was not the Packers' player of the game. Would have been Rashun Gary, but a shout out to him. We had some contributors, definitely. Rudy made a few key plays. The one pass he broke up to, I think it was Olave, right down at like about the 10-yard line. Olave was wide open, and thank you, Derek Carr, for not completing that. Oh my gosh! If he would have found him earlier, that was a touchdown easily. So, some of the plays were out there for New Orleans to take advantage of us, and they did not always make it. So that worked out for in our favor. We knew it was going to be a close game, John. Everybody said it was going to be close. Vegas said it was going to be close. Yep. They said it was going to be a 1-point game. It was. So yeah, good. Kudos to them. And John and I were pretty good on our predictions. We predicted the Packers would win. If you would have said that to us about the start of the fourth quarter, we said no way. No, it's over. So it's over.
Yeah, Andy and I were sitting here, and we were getting hacked because the play calling was substandard. I mean, come on, that's an easy one.
I will address that right now, John.
Okay, you address that.
because we were down toward the goal line, and I was calling the plays for us, right, John? And I told Jordan Love, pull the ball back, don't give the ball to whoever it was trying to get in the end zone. Was that on third down or fourth down? Whatever it was.
Third down.
Okay. So then there was the play that he scored the touchdown on. He pulls the ball back and runs it in for a touchdown. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
He is athletic enough to make plays like that. Correct. He was making plays all day like that, where he was taking upon himself to run the ball. He led us in rushing, by the way. Jordan Love had 39 yards and a touchdown. He led us in rushing. What? Yeah. Yeah. So that's how bad that was. We're going to have to address that because that's been 3 straight games that our rushing has been subpar.
Okay.
So, yeah, A.J. Dillon had 11 carries for 33 yards. And Jordan Love had 9 rushes, 9 scrambles, or whatever you want to call it, learning for his life.
Wilson, what did he have?
2 carries for 6 yards. Yeah, so we weren't averaging very much. But again, that touchdown from Jordan was key. And we were trying to think about a player of the game on offense, John. That was really tough. I'm like, nobody. No. Dobbs had a nice touchdown catch.
Jaden
Reed made it, but still. But I guess overall, I would have to give it to Jordan Love just from the standpoint he did make some plays that, but he's only completing 50% of his passes. He has not been accurate. We talked about that during the game. I think it was 22 of 44, which is 50%. So, and he was at 55, 56 the first 2 games pretty consistently. And so, I know, picky.
But you had opportunities
in the National Football League. If you're going to be a National Football League starting quarterback, typically you need to be completing over 60% of your passes. A lot of really great quarterbacks will be more closer to 70.
Correct.
Am I not right in that? Most of the quarterbacks that are completing 55% of their passes are out of the league. I'm talking to you,
Carson Wentz.
Cam Newton. Cam Newton, if you're watching Packers Blitz right now, that would be you. Very inaccurate passer and got beat up, just running the ball all the time. So hopefully, cautionary tale. We don't want that happening to Allen with the Buffalo Bills.
How many sacks? You know that really quick. How many sacks did the Saints have?
Oh, did the Saints have?
I think 2, 1. My point
Jordan Love got sacked once.
Okay, sacked once, people.
And we sacked their quarterbacks 4 times. 3 of those was Rashun Gary.
So our offense,
difference maker, like we said, John.
Yeah.
Great game, Rashun.
Yeah.
Hopefully you hear that.
So I might say our offensive,
there's the game ball, actually.
Maybe our offensive line deserves the offense because 2 all-pro starters were off that line and they allowed 1 sack. What do you think? No, I'm overselling it.
They weren't good on the run blocking.
No, they weren't.
And too many penalties from our offensive line. A lot. So
jumping off sides, the illegal motion I didn't get. What was the illegal motion here at home? Okay.
Oh yeah, false start penalties.
Why I'm on this subject about
it's pretty loud. I don't know. I didn't hear you're at home. You don't. Yeah, that was happening right away.
Why am I on this subject? Jonathan Taylor, people? Anybody biting? Anybody? We biting for Jonathan Taylor yet? What do you think? No? I think you said...
Only if A.J. Dillon's included in the trade, and they aren't going to trade for him.
But Aaron Jones, let's say Aaron Jones is gone for the year. Now, are we trading?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We got to solve that side of that part of the offensive team.
What we're showing with, not to pick on Christian Watson, but I'm going to pick him. What we're showing is, remembering the trade Andy brought up here in previous episodes, was the Colts wanted a first rounder, A.J. Dillon, Christian Watson. And Andy and I were like, go screw yourself. I'm not making that trade. No.
Well, the Colts are, over a barrel, so to speak.
Yeah.
In that, Jonathan Taylor doesn't want to play for them anymore.
No,
he doesn't want to play for the owner because the owner opening up his mouth.
Yeah, he can't keep his mouth shut.
And so that's a lot like what Jerry Jones does, but even Jerry Jones doesn't make stupid comments like Irsay did. So I'm calling him out. Jonathan Taylor is the top 5 back. The thing that he brings is he catches the ball really well. Yes, also, so it's a lot, but he's been hurt too.
Yeah.
So then, if you trade a Christian Watson, I'm not saying that, but if you traded a Christian Watson, you're trading an injured player for an injured player. So I don't know, but they aren't going to do that. I don't think even up. So Christian Watson, I mean, he is a game breaker. He is a real talent. But if he's not playing, he's no good to you. He's absolutely no good to you. So, and that's same goes for like Bakhtiari, and it's unfortunate he's having knee issues again, fluid buildup, whatever it is. That means he basically probably having problems bending his knee, let alone functioning. And I feel for him. He's had three operations, so. Yeah, hopefully he'll be back soon. But we do have a really deep offensive line, which we said before.
We proved it today.
We did.
Anything else on the recap?
Yeah, I mean, the Packers, they stepped up in the second half. We didn't give up any points. So kudos to and I don't know if we can give Joe Barry all the credit for that, but it's really tough for us to do that. I think it was more the ineptitude of the play calling and the execution on the Saints offense. We could have very easily still lost that game with that last second field goal. It's not like we stopped them cold. So
So, like I said, Troy and Green Bay play at Green Bay 7:15 at Amazon Prime. It's gonna be it's for the division lead, which is crazy to think about, but it is. Andy and I, do you have anything early you want to talk about? Because we were going to come back Monday night and give a little more depth, a little more time to look at some injuries and kind of see what's going on with guys like Rondre Campbell, Aaron Jones, Christian Watson, and then.
Well, after watching the Packers in the first 3 games, I just personally don't see them beating the Lions. We have to correct our running game, but the unfortunate part is Detroit has a really good run defense.
Yes, they do.
So that means we're going to have to probably attack more through the air, which means we're going to need a Christian Watson to play. We're going to need an Aaron Jones. Now, if we get those dudes back, even if we don't get back some of the offensive line players that we're missing, we might have a chance. But as of today, I would say that's going to be a loss, and then we'll be back to 500. I predicted, by the way, several episodes ago that we would lose both games to the Lions. I'm sticking to that. And you said a split, right? They are not winning that game on Thanksgiving in Detroit, by the way, either. So, again, it's kind of weird. We're playing them on Thursday night twice.
Yeah, that is weird.
That is weird. So, no, I'm looking forward to the game.
Yeah, so am I.
Detroit, I think, has a really good team. I don't think they're an elite team.
No, they're not top 5.
They might win one playoff game or something to that effect. It looks like they're going to win the division at this point.
Should.
A lot of things can change. It's only the 3rd game, but as of now, it's not going to be us.
No,
I really don't think. Which means, this is an important game coming up for the Packers. If we can steal this one too, that would be awesome. Be 3-1. But their break is week 6, correct, John? So even if they picked up another victory before the break, to be 4-1, that would be Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I would say as far as the season goes, our Super Bowl is going to be the games that we're playing Detroit.
Yep.
So if we can pick up victories in those games, that's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Advantage though, Detroit in a lot of different ways, and the only way we're going to beat them is to attack them through the air, and we're going to need some weapons to be able to do that. So we shall see. Jared Goff. People could say what they want to say about him. He's not a slouch. No. He is not good away from the friendly confines of, I don't even know if they call it Ford Field anymore, but
whatever they call it.
Right, exactly, whatever they call it. He's much better indoors. Much, much, much better. His splits between away and home is it's not even close. So, again, if you can get him off his game, get some pressure on him, get him to turn the ball over. They have a lot of weapons on offense. A lot of weapons.
They do
More than we've got.
More. Than
so it's going to be a situation where our defense would have to create some turnovers, and then our offense would have to do something through the air. Watching them today, I'm not totally confident in that, but as of now, I'd expect to try to take that game, but we'll see on that. See. We'll see. We're still a young team, right, John?
Very young.
Patience. Fritz Shermer.
So that's
patience, everybody.
Unless you're gonna add anything else, Andy, I'll wrap this bad boy up.
No, that's pretty much it.
It was a win. A win is a win.
18-17.
We will take anything right now. Yep. And I really think the Packer fans who were there are going to see a great game at the end, maybe not 3 quarters, but still.
And thank you, Saints.
Thank you, Saints, for bad play calling. Thank you, Rashun Gary.
Thank you, Saints, for not showing up in the second half. Basically, the whole second half.
The whole second half.
That's a lot to accomplish. The whole second half. We didn't show up the majority of the fourth quarter last game.
Nope.
They didn't show up the whole second half. So especially the offense. So thank you again for that.
Thank you again.
Thank you, Packers defense, for showing up and
at least
big goose egg for New Orleans in the second half.
So that's it for the post-game show, Packers Blitz. Like we say always, you are the greatest fans in the world, Packer fans. Of course they are. We will be back this week with the game preview of Detroit, even though we kind of gave you a little bit of a teaser for it. Remember to listen to us on Spotify, YouTube, iHeart, Apple, wherever you listen to the Packers Blitz podcast. We're doing a video here, so now you can watch us on YouTube. We'll try to do it from time to time. Also, please rate us 5 stars and subscribe to us. We need all the help we can get because Andy and I are just doing our best to keep this lovely podcast going because we love talking Packers.
And Andy? I promise next time I will try to use a little bit more hand gestures, but the problem is I would knock the mic right over. So I was trying not to do. I was like, John, you're really really using the hand gestures. Well, okay.
Right. So anyway, go Pack Go.
Go Pack Go.
And we'll talk to you later. Victory.
Peace out.